That's a good question. I mean, if you're waiting for the perfect moment to know everything, you're never going to get started. And so you have to take that, kind of leap of faith at some point. And, there's things you can do if you're not fully comfortable in your experience or background or knowledge. You can always collaborate with other people that can kind of fill in some of the gaps. And I've tried a handful of times over my career to go out and do kind of what I'm doing now, but I always thought, oh, I can learn design, I can learn construction, I can learn all these pieces, and you just can't. And so I've learned, I'm just going to focus on what I'm good at, and I'm going to bring in partners and people that I trust and consultants to fill in the gaps. And so you'll never be 100% ready.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Josh Green, who's the owner of Traverse Capital and also the owner of Alchemy Design and Development. We're going to talk all about raising capital and developing townhomes. So I'm excited to get into it. Thanks for being here, Josh.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So let's get to the beginning. How did you get into the real estate world?
Oh, it's kind of a long story. I'll try to keep it short. I kind of stumbled my way into multifamily appraisal and consulting. And I did that for a long time, for 11 years, all over Utah and Western states. I loved working with developers and I saw that they were doing much better than I was financially as an appraiser. And so I decided I wanted to make that switch. I went back to school. I did the Master's of Real Estate Development program at the University of Utah and graduated, got recruited to work for a residential developer here in the state. And yeah, so I do development, consulting, and education.
Amazing. And what kind of got you into the development world? Because, when you were kind of doing loans and stuff like that.
I love the creative side of, seeing something go from an idea to like actually being built and people using it, living in it day to day, calling it home. My background is finance and underwriting, but I also have this creative side and development seemed like a way to kind of do both things, combine the finance with the creativity and building.
Definitely. And I think that's a big jump that a lot of people want to make is, even just going from traditional investing into development. How did you kind of get the tools to dive headfirst into that?
Yeah, I had a good background of underwriting and market analysis from the work I did as an appraiser and consultant, but I didn't know how to put a deal together. I didn't know how to, the capital stack. I didn't know how to put it together. I didn't know how to go get a loan with the bank. And so that's why I went back to school. I did the Master's of Real Estate Development program, kind of pick up some more of those pieces that I was missing. And then working for a developer after I graduated, I got to see all of those pieces together. And it was a great opportunity to put me in a position to go find loans, to go talk to investment groups and put the capital stack together to get the deal funded.
Yeah. And since you have such a great background and all that, what are some tips you can give people? Like, what do first-time investors need to have before going out and borrowing money?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's, a track record. I think lenders and investors both want to know who you are, what your experience is, what other projects you've done. So I think that's probably number one before you even get into the deal is who are you? Can we trust you? What's your background? And then it's just having a solid deal put together with, solid underwriting, not shooting for the stars with your assumptions, doing some underwriting a realistic project that can actually get funded.
Yeah, definitely. And what are kind of like, with credit, I think people kind of worry about that. They don't know if their credit is high enough or anything like that.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, and you can always partner with people too. That's another thing that I've learned along the way is I can't do everything myself, and I've got to kind of focus on what I'm good at and bring in other people that can help. If you don't have a track record or the credits, find someone that does and partner with them, bring them in on the deal to kind of fill that gap with either the lender or the investors.
Yeah, and I know one of your really great qualities is you're good at connecting people and, you're great at mentorship and all that. How do you suggest people go out and find mentors and people to work with?
Great question. I love LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there and have made a lot of really great connections there. So that's a great place. Real estate, at least here in Utah, it's really a small world. The more you can meet people in person, I think LinkedIn is a great place to kind of start a connection. But I think the quicker you can take that, offline, either, phone call, Zoom or meeting in person, the better. I always encourage people to go to, real estate events and not just sit in the back and listen, but, actually go and meet people and make connections.
Yeah, and you've actually developed your own community, haven't you?
We have, yeah, we do several events here. One that combines two of my favorite things, tacos and real estate. We do a monthly event every month, obviously monthly. That's really fun. We've made a lot of great connections that way. I also started Impact Development Collaborative, which is a small group that meets a couple times a month. All kinds of backgrounds, developers, contractors, architects, lenders, really just to kind of support each other and help each other. It's hard to do deals right now. And so having a kind of a network of support is really helpful.
Amazing. And so, you were talking about raising capital and getting out there. You're obviously very good at that. You have Traverse Capital. Tell us more of your capital raising tips. I think a lot of people struggle because they just don't even know where to start.
Yeah, and it's been a challenge. When I was working for this other developer here in Utah, that was a bigger scale. And so we were working with, private equity groups and real estate funds and things like that. When I left, my projects were way too small for that same network, right? And so we kind of had to start from scratch. We started with friends and family. I started being more active on LinkedIn. We started putting some of these events together just to be able to meet more people and let people know what we were doing and where the opportunities were.
Hmm. Absolutely. And, as people go out and try to raise, they meet people, all of that. How do you even go about the process of, meeting your goals? What are some tips and tricks just about mindset?
Yeah, I try to provide some value first before I ask for anything. And so that's where I start is, can I help you either with, education, finding a deal, consulting, how can I help you with what you want to do first? And if investing in one of my deals fits what's helpful to you, then we can talk about that. But I start from a place of how can I help other people first before asking for anything.
Yeah, I think that goes a long way. And I think people really appreciate that and often return the favor.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, Definitely.
Yeah. And so, you're in townhomes right now, developing townhomes. Tell us about why that's so exciting in particular, the opportunity there.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why. I think it's getting really expensive. It is expensive, and it's getting worse. Home affordability to buy a home here in Utah, and so for a lot of people, they just can't do it with where interest rates are, where pricing is, and so renting a townhome is a good next place to go if you're kind of growing out of your apartment. You've maybe got a pet or a partner. A townhome is a great place to move up if you can't quite buy a home yet. And I think there's just a lot of demand for that product. What our tenants pay for a month in rent, including professional management, maintenance, all that stuff, is so much less than what it would cost to buy the same unit. And so there's one reason. There's a lot of demand. They're pretty easy to build. You can build them in kind of in pods or in buildings and lease them up as you're still building the rest of the project. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why. I just think it's a great product and I get really excited about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think there's a need for kind of those starter homes almost, or, ways to get into the housing market. I think that's really, really needed. And then tell us about, you're in the Utah market. Tell us about kind of what's going on there.
Yeah, I love Utah. Born and raised. I've spent my whole career here, the last 20 plus years working in real estate. And we're really lucky to live in a state that's, pro business. We do a really good job of bringing employers here. We have a great quality of life with mountains right here and all kinds of recreation. And so that's fueled a lot of the population growth here as well. Like we've seen so many people move to Utah from other states, especially, I mean, starting in COVID, really kind of ramped up and it's never really slowed down. And so there's just a lot of opportunity. It's just a great place to live. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've seen some market shifts, up and down, but it's great to have, I love hearing optimism about the market, and each market really has its own little pocket. What do you think, like, where do you think we're going from here with the market?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think we're at a difficult spot where um, I think things, on the housing affordability side, don't really get any better until we start making some meaningful changes to, zoning and parking requirements, things like that. I think that's the first step. I think it's a supply issue, and it's just gotten to be so hard to build new homes that's one of the things that's pushing prices and rent up so much. And so I think, removing barriers to just let developers build.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it definitely sounds like you're a doer. You have a goal and you go out and do it, but you're also an educator. So, talk about kind of the balance there between learning the information, but actually going out and doing it and learning on the job.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, I love teaching and, whatever experience. I've had some great mentors that have shared their experience and knowledge with me along the way. And I'm at a point where I just want to do the same thing. And, so yeah, I'm an adjunct at the University of Utah. I teach a couple classes up there. I do some teaching outside of the university just on my own and through our event. I mean, when I was in undergrad in business entrepreneurship, I had a lot of professors that had never started a business before. They had all this, kind of academic knowledge. And the few that I had that actually had been out and done it before, I just got so much more from their experience. And so hopefully I can, provide some of that to my students.
Yeah, and I think that people have one of two issues. Maybe they jump into something too quickly without learning, or they just they learn and learn and learn and never actually do it. Kind of at what
Yeah.
point do you suggest people go out and do it?
That's a good question. I mean, if you're waiting for the perfect moment to know everything, you're never going to get started. And so you have to take that, kind of leap of faith at some point. And, there's things you can do if you're not fully comfortable in your experience or background or knowledge. You can always collaborate with other people that can kind of fill in some of the gaps. And I've tried a handful of times over my career to go out and do kind of what I'm doing now, but I always thought, oh, I can learn design, I can learn construction, I can learn all these pieces, and you just can't. And so I've learned, I'm just going to focus on what I'm good at, and I'm going to bring in partners and people that I trust and consultants to fill in the gaps. And so you'll never be 100% ready. You just at some point have to go for it.
Yeah. And, as you said, bringing in partners, how do you kind of vet people? How do you know when there's an alignment there?
Yeah, it goes back to this networking, right? And just meeting people, understanding what they're looking for. Um, really, you're trying to find people that are good at what they do and that are willing to help solve problems. Is really, and fun to be around is the other one, I guess I'd say. So that's how I look at it. Is are we? It's hard to work with someone that's trying to grab every last penny for themselves.
Mhm.
It's much easier when everyone has kind of an abundance mindset, willing to share, willing to work together to find the best solution, and really someone that you feel comfortable that you can solve problems with and work through challenges with, because they'll always come up. And so if you've got someone that just wants to point fingers and blame other people, that's really not productive and doesn't help move the project forward. And so finding people that are willing to find solutions, work together to resolve them.
Amazing. And I mean, to kind of wrap it all up, what would be a piece of advice you wish you learned earlier that you can share with us today?
Oh man, it's probably going to be just networking. I feel like I wasted a lot of years working in the shadows of my boss instead of going out and making those connections myself. And so I think, if I could go back and do things again, I would be much more active in meeting with these developers, making those connections rather than, being in the shadows of my boss, my employer. So much of it is just networking and meeting people. And that's something I've learned, like I said, later in life. I'm an introvert, so it's easy for me to, sit in the back in the corner by myself
Mhm.
and not get out of my comfort zone and meet new people. But I've had to kind of push myself to do that, because having a network of people that are doing similar things and complementary things is so valuable.
Yeah. And as an introvert who might be more comfortable, standing in the background, what are your best tips to other introverts? How to kind of push themselves to get out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think, LinkedIn is a good way to do it.
Yeah.
That's pretty low stakes. You can post things or ask questions there. I recommend my students volunteer at events, help check people in. That's a good way for us introverts to have people come to us instead of us
Yeah.
go to them. And then, we created our own events where people come to us instead of us having to seek them out. And so I don't know that that's the right thing for everyone to do, but it's worked really well for us to create our own events and bring people to us.
Amazing. Well, I mean, this has been so insightful. I think you gave a lot of inspiration to a lot of people. Tell everyone where to find you.
LinkedIn is the best place to get me. I've got a newsletter, some other things, but you can find everything I'm doing through LinkedIn.
Oh, well, thank you so much for being here, Josh.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And thank you everyone for listening. I hope you got some inspiration for your business and some good takeaways. Definitely check out Josh on LinkedIn. And we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.